Okay, and we are live. So, to begin with, hi everyone, I'm Riya Mittal, and welcome to SellerApp's Holiday Edition Live, where we help you excel in this holiday season. So, we have three very special speakers with us today, and they are going to get you ready for this holiday season. So, we have John Lawson, who will be joining us in the later part of this live, and then we have our own Dilip Vamanan. I'm sorry if I got your name right. Wrong, sorry. So we have Dilip, and he is our co-founder. He doesn't really do lives that often, so you guys should be like very happy that he's decided to join us today because he's an industry expert and he's been in this industry for over 10 years. So yes, when he says something, it should help your business. And then we have Sowmya. Sowmya heads the design team at SellerApp, and I will introduce her later in the session. And she's the one that you should be really excited about because she's the reason why our dashboard is so friendly. So let me tell you the topics that we'll be covering for today. We have from listing optimization, we have Amazon PPC, we have lots of tips and tricks and see how, and some predictions actually for how this Black Friday is going to turn out to be. So we're covering Black Friday, we're covering Cyber Monday, and we're covering Thanksgiving. It's the golden trio. So they're one after the other. So I hope you all are ready to face the rush that comes with this holiday season. So before I introduce my first speaker, I just want to understand how many of you sellers watching right now were approached by Amazon to get your prices discounted or for the special deal banner. So if you were approached by Amazon, let me know in the comment section below that you were. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. So for our first speaker, let me just call Dilip and then I'll introduce him. Hi, Dilip.
Hey, hi, good morning, Riya. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How does it look there? Are you excited for the Amazon Q4 rush that our sellers are going to be facing soon?
No, I'm sure that the holiday season is what everybody is looking for through the entire year, right? So really looking forward for the holiday sales.
Yes, and since you have seen Amazon from inside and outside, and you have seen countless number of Black Fridays, Cyber Mondays, and Thanksgiving, I just want to understand, does this year look any different from last year? Because I understand that COVID has disrupted some of our, sales on Amazon. So I just want to understand how this year is going to be, in Black Friday season.
Very interesting questions. I know this year is actually going to be really different because these are really extraordinary times, right? And just believe me, this year, this holiday season is going to be really different, right? And I just wanted to, I'm saying like all of us who are there in this industry, especially in the e-commerce industry, I think we are very fortunate, right? And we have seen downsides in many other categories, other domains, but fortunately, e-commerce is booming, and this is the right time to be in.
Yes, and I mean, considering how crazy Prime Day was, so I noticed that some of the sellers were low on inventory because they didn't anticipate that it's going to be this crazy. So I think we can expect the same for Black Friday and Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday, the Golden Trio as well. So
Right.
coming to our next topic, I just want to understand what categories are going to stand out this Black Friday. Any category in particular that you might think will have more search?
So before getting into the category, right, I want to just say that this year the buying trend is really different, right? So last year, if you look at it, people were actually scouting for all those heavy discounted products and all those categories. But this year, I know for sure people are really going to invest money in, or people are going to buy products which really matter to them, right? So I'm a bit skeptic about the kind of sales you can expect, but again, all those necessary items, I'm sure that people are going to look for those products.
Yes, because according to my research, I've seen a really good increase in home and office category. So
Right.
I completely agree with your point that people are going to be purchasing or gifting necessaries or necessities this season rather than splurging money on things that are considered usually authentic or gifts item. So yes, I think home and office is one of the categories that we should look out for. What do you think?
I mean, actually, home is our office, right? I mean, there's no difference between a home and office, right? And welcome, this is my home office quarantine, right? I mean, so the life belongs to this whole 1,500 square feet, right? So, yeah, I mean, we I mean, look, when the COVID hits, I we saw that the trend of a lot of categories like health and household, toys, education, all of them booming up. But the trend has kind of subsided, and now there are we I mean I think I'll cover most of those things in my presentation, but look, there are very very interesting categories, and I'm really really looking forward to the trends of this year.
Yes, and coming to not Amazon specific, because I'm not sure if all of you is right now sell on Amazon. So if you do, let us know in the comment section below which platform are you selling on. So for our next topic to discuss, it's the growth of online retail. So I want to understand if the growth has been immense this year, which I'm sure it has been, considering the last Q2, Q4, or Q3 sales have been immense, and I think Amazon e-commerce platform Amazon has like seen a 40% increase in their
Yeah.
revenue. So
Yeah.
can you shine a light on growth on online retail? And then, as Dilip mentioned, he has PPT plan for us. So let's get into those slides, Dilip.
Sure, sure. Look, I think what we have seen is at least in the last 1 week, the sales is almost like more than 300% spike compared to the first 3 weeks of October. So I'm sure that that same trend will continue. And yeah, again, I mean, the growth is actually seen in multiple marketplaces, not just on Amazon. I mean, you look at Walmart, you look at Best Buy, Target, all of them, the sales have really, really spiked, right? But Amazon is actually in this forefront, right? I mean, so and Amazon has a significant advantage, like almost close to 40-50% the whole e-commerce sales out there in US is controlled by Amazon. So Amazon is there in the forefront. But yeah, I mean, I let me actually see if I can pull up my slides. So
Yes, go ahead.
what I wanted to actually in the next 3 to 4 minutes, what I wanted to really cover is some topics which I feel are really important, which our all the sellers out there can actually take care, who can really look forward, which actually can make a huge difference for them for this holiday season, right? So here are the holiday season predictions for us, as well as the checklist we would like all of you to essentially follow and really value. So now, before getting into the actual presentation, let me tell you like how the online e-commerce penetration has been over the past close to a decade, right? I mean, it has been growing at a very steady stage of close to 2% year on year. And so this is a status till 2019, and you can see that from 2018 it grown by almost close to 1.2%, and 2019 again it has grown by close to 2%. But this year it's very different, right? The growth is close to 10%, right? Which means the online e-commerce have received close to past 5 years of growth just in 1 year, right? And a lot has to do with the pandemic and unfortunate pandemic we are hit with. But and it's also very different because it's the first year in the maybe in the whole last 100 years where the traditional in-store sales have declined, right? And this, believe me, this is not a trend which we have seen any time before, right? The first time the physical store sales have declined, right? And the e-commerce sales still grown by more than 129% on on year on basis, right? And again, a very important trend which we have seen is like we have been approached by a lot of brick and mortar stores, and some of them are actually very very traditional, highly successful offline stores who have actually reached out to us so that we can help them and strategize and help them to essentially go online, start selling on various marketplaces. But this is again, it's the first time we have seen a significant jump in terms of brick and mortar stores going online, right? And the next thing is, obviously, this is the biggest jump, as I told you, like in 1 year we have got close to the 10 years of growth, right? And again, it's not just in US, it's the same trend is there across the world. And all of those sellers who are watching this stream right live right now, you can see, you can say that you are actually part of a industry which is globally reaching close to $5 trillion, right? And see, I have just listed down the most important 5 points, And these are not the only points. And we have also written a very detailed blog on Seller App official blog about various aspects, various checklists you need to really look forward. And so let me come to the first and most important thing is leverage data, right? And I'm sure that you have been selling maybe like past 5 years, past 10 years on Amazon and other platforms. But again, I'm sure that again, there are a lot of softwares out there who can actually help you in terms of various data points, including trends, the best selling products within your category, within your portfolio. Look at the keywords which has trended last year, which has got a good search volume relevant to your product, all those things. So there are a lot of data points which you can actually leverage, not just from Seller App. There are a lot of good softwares out there. And that's the first thing, right? Second thing, Riya, I really wanted to focus on this year is we have seen. I mean, a lot of sellers essentially leveraging the social media to drive additional traffic to their marketplace pages, right? And again, this is also something which can make a huge difference on, especially on those 3 days. Make sure that you get a grip of social media and drive the traffic to all your product pages. Third one is yes, it's time for you to optimize your listings with the holiday search terms, because again, there are specific search terms, there are specific keywords which people will search on that specific holidays, right? So look for those keywords again. To especially tools like Seller App keyword search tool can actually give you all those insights in terms of what are those keywords which will trend on those days, right? Next, and the most important thing, right? I know all of your advertising on Amazon, but this is the time for you to ramp up your advertising strategies, right? Make sure all your bucks are spent in wisely and also strategically, right? And it's time for you to call up your customer success person, your account manager, to relook into all your campaigns, all the campaign strategies, and ramp up your advertising strategies, right? I know the CPC rates might be slightly higher range, but believe me, we have seen an huge growth in terms of conversions, right? Especially on the holidays, right? Next point is like, I mean, again, we have seen some of the old strategies which still works in this modern day, right? What I meant by old strategies is like, and I already mentioned about the social media and other traffic which you can drive on. But we recently, like when the Prime Day was there, we had a case study of one of the customer who drove a lot of traffic from the email list which the person had gathered over the period of last 10 years, right? So I'm telling you again, there are some old strategies like mass emailing your customer base, all your email list, that can still work for you. Now comes to the next part. What are those 4 or 5 things you need to really watch out during the holy days, right? Especially on all the 3 days. What are those 5 things you should look for, right? The first thing is, I know must have already audited your listings, reworked on your listings. All those things are perfect, right? And you will be looking at all the conversions specifically on that particular day, and the organic rankings of your keywords. So something like search visibility, look for all your really good converting keywords, check the rankings, check where they are organically positioned. It will really help you on that particular day. Next, and the most important thing, this is also a time where something can really go wrong with your accounts as well, right? I mean, it can be the return rates and defect rates and all those things. So ensure that your account health is really good at this point of time, right? And the last and most important thing we have seen again, just before the holiday season or just before 1 or 2 days before that, we have seen, I mean, unexpectedly some negative reviews coming to your product, losing the buy box, all those things can happen, right? So again, you can use different monitoring softwares like buy box monitoring, the price alerts, see that your listings are not uh, edited by someone else. All those things are, again, you're tracking it very, very carefully, right? Now, I think coming back to Riya, the question which you asked for, right? So when the COVID hit, we had seen immense growth on a lot of categories, and some of them essentially what we have seen is the trend has reduced. But again, there are categories which are really, really still doing good, and we on a daily basis we see a lot of opportunities in some of these categories which are listed down here. So what we have done is we have spent a lot of time, all our data analysts people have spent a lot of time and created a report which is available for you to download and from our website, or you can just drop an email to support@sellerapp.com, and we'll be more than happy to share this report with you. Yeah.
Okay, then. I mean, that was a great presentation. Thank you for giving us such detailed insights on what we can expect with this Q4 coming up. So thank you so much, Dilip. So according to me, I have seen that sales usually go up during the December time, and it goes up on Christmas, and then it comes down after December 22nd. So keep that in mind, because some sellers just believe that their sales are going to do really well in January. That's the end of the Q4. So no, usually we see the sales go down after 22nd because people have already purchased their gifts and they're all ready to, gift to their loved ones or whatever you gift to. So, okay, so before I say goodbye to Dilip, I just want to ask one question to all of you watching out there. Have you been approached by Amazon for Black Friday deals or anything similar to that? If you have, let us know in the comment section below. And also let us know if you sell on Amazon and which category you sell on. So I'll get a good idea on what category we should be covering in our live moving forward. So thank you so much for being here, Dilip, and please join more lives from now on. I'm sure the viewers loved you. So yes, I will see you soon, and it's time for me to call our next speaker.
Sure.
Okay, then, bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Riya.
You're welcome. Okay, so for our next speaker, she is the reason why our dashboard looks so user-friendly. She's worked in a lot of global corporates, and now she heads the design team at SellerApp's. So help me welcome Sowmya, everyone. Hi, Sowmya,
Hi,
how's it going?
hi Riya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. So if you already were not convinced by whatever Dilip said, Soumya is here to calm your holiday nerves down. So I understand that COVID has disrupted a lot of selling on Amazon, and there is a lot of anxiety among sellers that sometimes they might run out of inventory if they have enough. How their PPC campaign is going to look like if they're trying something new. So Soumya here is going to help us understand how things on Amazon do and works. So we have a really interesting question here that I think we should take up. So hi Joel, how are you doing? The question is, how is SellerApp helping sellers to make most out of this Q4? So Sowmya, let's show them.
Absolutely. First off, I'm really excited to be here, and that's a very interesting question that I'm personally excited to answer and to start this session with. To begin with, I want everyone to know that SellerApp has constantly worked towards helping sellers optimize their business, scale, and by doing so, they not only provide great insights, actionable insights, and all the data points that they need, but also simplify their experience for doing the same. And being part of the design team, it's my utmost interest is making the dashboard more user friendly, helping sellers achieve their goals with all the information that we have to offer and without having to struggle too much. So that's been our key focus. And we all know, I mean, talking about our key features, advertising has been definitely our standout feature. And I think we all here agree that advertising can be very overwhelming for most sellers. And speaking to over 100 sellers, what I have gathered is that there is a need to simplify this experience for them, help them optimize their campaigns with great ease. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to show what we have on our dashboard so that our viewers can understand what we've done. Yeah. So
this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to see our SellerApp dashboard without actually having an account. So you will be convinced how easy it is to use our dashboard. All right, Sowmya, whenever you're ready, let me know, and I will let your screen share be on screen.
Absolutely. You can, if you can see my screen now, I'm sharing my screen.
Yep.
Okay, then. So what you're looking at right now is the campaign manager, and this is the feature that we are most proud of putting out there for our sellers, because what you get from this feature is all the relevant information, all the key data points that sellers would need at a quick glance. If you can see right away. I mean, you can compare your PPC revenue versus ACOS. You can compare the conversion rate versus your the orders, or your click through rate versus click. It's, I mean, look at it. If I may say so myself, what a amazing looking dashboard that we have here, and a huge shout out to my team for that. So we have not just that, we have all the metrics, all the data points that our sellers would require when it comes to advertising. Not just that, we also provide information regarding negative keywords, help sellers identify negative keywords. The search term explorer helps you get through that as well. So yeah, I mean, this is just a quick, preview sneak peek of our campaign manager. But before that, I would also like to mention our automation tool, which is something that we are, most, proud of creating. So let me just quickly share that with you. Yeah. So what we have understood is that most sellers sellers either are in a phase where they are looking to save money or optimize their return of investment or enhance their business scale, right? So keeping that in mind, what we have done is we have created ready to use templates that sellers can get their rule creation started with right away with a simple click of a button. So be it whether you're looking to save money or optimize your ROI or enhance your PPC performance, it's all there for you with this templates that we have for you. So yeah, that's our advertising in a nutshell for you.
Yeah, and I love how easy it is because I understand that people get really, especially sellers, get really anxious when it comes to PPC because it's not cheap to begin with, and it can go wrong very quickly. So I'm sure, and I'm happy that we have such an fisheye or bird's eye view over the whole dashboard to understand how your numbers look.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming to the next point, I understand that keywords are equally important not only for your listing but also for your PPC as well. So how does SellerApp help with keyword research for Black Friday?
Absolutely. I mean, keyword research is not just important for your campaigns, but it's equally important for your listing optimization. And I know most of the sellers out there have already optimized their listings, and that's something that they do look into. But what often we've observed that they tend to overlook the fact that they need to re-optimize their listing ahead of the holiday season, which is equally important. It's very important that you identify the most search keywords that buyers are looking at in order to be visible to them, right? So for example, let me share a few keywords this holiday season.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, so if you say here, I have keywords for that I have found through our keyword research tool, the keywords for Black Friday related to Black Friday on Amazon with a high search volume, and then you also I have a few keywords here for Cyber Monday. If you notice, they're slightly different. These keywords probably you will not be using otherwise, but it is good to keep that in mind that during the holiday season buyers tend to, this is probably a most observed search pattern. So it's good to keep this in mind and optimize your listing, make your listing ready, go that extra mile, do everything that takes that it takes for you to increase your revenue. And if you'd need extra help with that, our customer success team is always ready to assist you with that. give you all the inputs that you need, all the strategies you need, not just for your listing, but also for your PPC campaign. So yeah, don't shy away from reaching out to them, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help.
Yeah, and I think this was a perfect combination, because these two things are what I would, as a seller, worry about when I'm trying to sell the most this Q4. So we have PPC, we have keyword, and let's not forget profits on Amazon, because one of the main reasons people sell on Amazon is to make profits, right? So how can one increase profit? And I actually want to bring in a point before this live started. Sowmya and I were just talking about how sellers make this mistake that they forget that net profit is what they're supposed to look at instead of gross profit. So go ahead, Sowmya, explain them why the net profit is more important than gross.
Yes, I think that's very important to talk about, because often, again, first, everyone here is looking to make those profits, right? But it's important that you're looking at the right number when you do so. To be mindful of the fact that you have taken into account all the metrics that go into calculating your profit, right? So like you said, sellers generally tend to look at the gross profit rather than the net profit. And when I say net profit, let me talk about a few metrics that that is included when we calculate net profit. Right, as you can see, a few things that you should consider is the shipping costs, Amazon fees, advertising costs, right? And all the other variable costs in order to get, and that's the number that you should be focusing on, and that's the real number that matters to sellers. I hope that answered your question, Riya.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So I see the comment section is buzzing with some questions. So let's do some questions now.
Sure.
So, in your advertising tool, you mentioned that the term negative keywords. So, Kevin here wants to understand what negative keywords are and how do you identify them?
Oh, hi, Kevin. Happy to answer that question. Negative keywords. Okay, so to put that in simple terms, negative keywords are those keywords in your PPC campaigns that are either not performing or draining out allocated budget for the ad spend, or those that are just not relevant to your product. There are multiple metrics that must be analyzed in order to identify these negative keywords, and this process may kind of vary depending upon certain factors for every account. A few common ways of identifying them would be analyzing the search term report, identifying those keywords that have spent money without making much conversions, or to check for any spend on irrelevant keywords, or to check for keywords that are simply not converting and at a very high ACoS. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind while identifying negative keywords, and for you to just make sure that you don't have them.
Yeah, and
So
Kevin, if you think she has answered your question, if you think Sowmya has done a good job, let us know in the comment section below. And if you have any more doubts, you can ask us. So, actually, I wanted to bring something to the table. I mean, I have noticed that a lot of sellers want to try something new for this holiday season, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? It has worked for my friend, and I'm sure that it's going to work for us as well." But I suggest you do not make any new changes that you have not already tried in the past, because that might come back and bite you. And yes, for our next question, we have Abrar. Hi, Abrar. So Abrar is asking, what are some repricing strategies you would like to give for this holiday season?
okay, repricing strategy. So Abrar, things that people usually the questions that come to people's mind, sellers' mind specifically, is should you price too high or should you be keeping the price too low? When you price your product too high, what would happen is that you will not. It's likely that you will not make much sales, and resulting in a lot of your inventory not being sold. Whereas when you price your product too low, yes, you'll probably be making a lot of sales, a lot more sales, but at the risk of not making much profit, which is sad. So what you need to keep in mind is you need to find that perfect middle ground where you can also make profit at the same time, not lose your customer base, because you do not want to price a product too low and lose your customer base right there. And again, when it comes to pricing your product too low, you do not want to be the cheapest seller on for that particular product. Reason being is that even though that might bring in a lot of buyers your way, but what typically happens in that scenario is that when your product is priced that low, people often correspond that to the product being uh, of a poor quality, of a cheaper quality, and yeah, so they're simply not interested. And with that, you run the risk of losing your customer base. So, what I would suggest, and it is often recommended, that you price your product, say, um, probably 2% higher than the lowest selling product. By doing that, what you do is that your product is still affordable and you don't run the risk of losing your customer base, and you're still in the competition, right? So this is something that you should keep in mind. I hope that answered your question, Labrar.
If it did, let us know in the comment section below. And thank you, Kevin, for acknowledging our question. So now that we're talking about pricing, something important that I want to mention here is historically analyzing your pricing, because that way you understand that what price converts the most for you. And I think for this holiday season, I understand that if you have some inventory that you want to get rid of, you can obviously apply discounts, but historically analyze your pricing. That way, you know which one converts more, and then you can just go ahead and get that price stay for the Q4 season. So I also want to talk about listing optimization. So Sowmya, you are free to agree with me or disagree with me, but I have seen a lot of sellers not change their listing pictures, and pictures are the most important things that you can do, that your listing can have. So of course your main image has to be perfect, and if it's pixelated or you're not spending enough money on your pictures, forget about the price. People will think that your product is cheap, so you don't want that to happen. Also, a little tip: if you can edit your pictures with some festive looking decorations, like if you're let's say if you're selling like a kettle and the kettle has like a Santa hat on it, that becomes festive. So try to associate your brand with festivity, and that will help you sell more, because then people are going to think of your products as gifts, and that will always help you sell more. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here, Sowmya. I think you have given and prepared our listeners out there for the holiday season. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comment section below, and we will be right back with our next speaker. Until then, we are going to play a short animation. So thank you for being here, Sowmya.
Thank you so much, Riya.
All right. Okay, so here's a quick animation on what Seller App is, and we'll be right back with our next speaker.
Ah, so you've heard that Amazon is great for making money. You want to jump on the bandwagon too and start selling on Amazon ASAP. You even have an idea of what type of products you'd like to sell. Great! Check, check, check. Okay, well, hold on there. Now what? Have you considered all the risks before you charge ahead? How do you estimate your initial investment? How will go about starting a listing? And more importantly, how do you know for sure that the products you've chosen will actually sell? Well, this is where we come in. SellerApp is an all-inclusive Amazon seller platform designed to minimize guesswork and risks involved in starting a business on Amazon. Our data-driven insights help Amazon sellers track and improve the performance of their businesses throughout its lifecycle. The platform even has all the features an experienced seller would need to optimize listing quality and marketing strategy to remain one step ahead of the game. With over 15 integrated Amazon seller tools like Profit Dashboard, Keyword Research, Listing Quality, and PPC Analyzer, Seller App combines all features in one single dashboard and makes sure that you have a sure shot at supercharging your sales. Now you don't have to worry about handling manual spreadsheets and research work anymore. Take complete control of your Amazon business with Seller App.
Okay, so I hope everyone is as pumped as I am. So unfortunately, our next speaker won't be able to join the live today because of some personal grievance. So I am going to continue this as a solo performance. So for all of you watching here, we have a very exciting video coming next week. It's on how you can do your PPC campaign without keyword research. So we have a lot of sellers coming and asking us if that's possible. And this is like a new strategy that a lot of people are following now, and it has worked. So I am doing this session with Prabhat Shah, and he will help you understand how you can do your PPC campaign without keyword research. So look out for that next week. And we also have multiple sessions on sourcing coming up. So if you want to understand if this is the right time for you to expand and get variation products for your listing, you can completely do that now. And yeah, we are coming up with a sourcing guide as well. So thank you so much for everyone for being here and listening to us. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact Seller App. If you want Q1, if you want to prepare for Q1, go ahead and send us an email and we'll be right there to help you. And yes, Seller App is always here to help you. We are your #1 growth partner. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye.